The 923rd edition of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog is hooking up new customers. Play just $5 and get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with promo code MMA SGPN.
Heidi ho, degenerinos. Welcome to episode 923 of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Let's dedicate to one of our Spotify commenters. This gentleman commented on our UFC Perth prelims episode. Tino Caceres, worst breakdown I've heard. So you should watch our breakdowns too, and then it can be the worst breakdown you've seen and heard.
Nice.
Yeah. For the record, I went 8-4 at UFC Perth and ended up a bunch of money, but there you go.
I also think even on some of the fights that we missed on the prelims, like I think we had a pretty good read on them too.
Exactly, they were just screwy.
Like you missed the Luana Carolina one, and you were like, "Man, does Michelle Montague suck at striking?" And let me tell you, she proved you right on that comment.
Yep, she sure did. And Sam, who's always good for ripping into me about things, he says Carlos is from New Zealand and trains at City Kickboxing in Auckland. Nothing to do with Australia. So yeah, sometimes Sam, I just say things when I'm on the air.
You gotta be looking at the graphics. The graphics say it right on it.
Yeah, that's true. I can't read my spreadsheet and look at your graphics at the same time. That's a problem. All right, we got some more regional action. We actually have our last technically quote unquote regional fight from last week is fight cards happening tonight. That would be Dana White Contender Series. Gumby's going to ace that test, and
that's tomorrow.
Oh yeah, today's Monday. I'm sorry. Yes, that's tomorrow. I'm ahead of myself. So that's what happens when you don't work real jobs. Yes, tomorrow would be Contender Series. Today is only Monday. So that's going to put Gumby up over 40 units on non-UFC events, and then he's going to go even harder in the paint with PFL Champions Series 2, Nurmagomedov versus Hughes 2. How's that for a title? That is so PFL. Yes, no, it's in Dubai, so maybe it's Dubai season, but yeah.
I think it's visit Dubai. That's the thing. Yeah, they don't have enough names on that yet. Champion Series, and you know what the best part is now, and I haven't gotten a chance to rag on this yet. Now they're just gonna have one champion in every division.
I know, crazy. That's so good. Yeah, we kind of talked about it a few episodes back. Yeah,
you dropped a press release where you were like, "We're only gonna have one champion in every division." Which, first of all, not a novel idea. Amazing. Literally every other promotion does that. And then, secondly, at the end of that announcement, you were like, "The belt that Francis Ngannou won at heavyweight was a one-off." That we might use again in the future. So like,
which is not a one-off.
So in other words, every division has one belt. Also, this other division might not have one belt.
Yeah, it might not. And it might have been, it was a one-off that we're going to repeat. So yeah, it makes sense. And then they have the number 2 twice in the title for this episode. So which is great too. Champion Series 2, and it's Nurmagomedov versus Hughes 2. We rag on PFL, but they actually have decent fights, and the fight cards are fun often. It's just, it's all the behind the scenes stuff that we rag on, right? This is another pretty solid fight card. At least on paper, it looks like a solid fight card.
Yeah, and I think they did a good job with the prelims too. It's always for a while it was like a smattering of guys who had fought for Bellator and they were just filling in the spots. But right now, they've got a lot of PFL Mina guys in there. There's a new signing in there. Like they kind of made it fun. So even the prelims, which we might not talk about too much in there, I'm looking forward to. And I'm looking forward to is a wild because I don't typically look. For a while, you used to twist my arm to make me do PFL and Bellators.
Yeah. But then he saw the numbers. And you people are insisting.
Love it.
Yeah, we get more for PFL than we do for UFC. So probably because not many people cover the PFL. I assume that's the reason why. I assume it's not more popular than the UFC in real life, but who's to say? So, how do you watch the Champions Series? Every one of their things.
Oh God, stop asking me. I have no idea how to watch PFL.
Canada's it's on the Fight Network in Canada, which is good because I get the Fight Network.
I think this one's on ESPN Plus.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see for the United States of America, but it depends on what country you live in, people as well. ESPN is on. Yep. You are right.
Cool.
ESPN Plus. Yeah. They have different contracts for the World Tournament, Champion Series, PFL Europe, PFL MENA, PFL Africa. So definitely a good thing, and a good thing to have a confused marketplace for sure, right? When you're trying to battle the UFC, definitely have 5 different divisions and 10 different TV providers. But anyhow, enough slander, right? You people like PFL, that's why you're here, or you like.
No, they like to bet on it. They don't necessarily have to.
They like it, yeah, that's true. How do you have it? Your stats separated for each promotion, or
I can the spreadsheet that I use can sort that way, but I do not currently have it in front of me sorted that way.
just guesstimate. Do you think you're doing good in PFL this year?
I think I'm doing all right. What was no, the big hit was on them last year, right? When I hit Zafar Motion at like plus 900 or something like that. I think that was last year. Yeah, because that was when Cyborg fought too. So because I hit them in the same card.
Right.
I'd say this is probably like an average card for me.
Okay, cool.
I'd say we do better on LFAs. That's like our LFAs, CFFCs, Fury FCs are like the sweet spot. That's where we find dogs that nobody has any business playing, and we win with them. This one and Octagon tend to be like right in the middle, and then we don't talk about Aries.
Not anymore. We do not talk about Aries anymore.
We don't talk about Aries.
All right, we should probably talk about this here fight card after. I'll remind you, after I hit my desk first, check out the SGPN app in your app store for easy access to all of our free picks and props. So SGPN in the app store. All right, we're going to Dubai, United Arab Emirates, October the 3rd. So it's a Friday event. That's another thing. They always have to have different days too. 11 a.m. start time. So degenerate special for this. PFL Champions Series 2. Nurmagomedov versus Hughes 2. Oh, I love rematches so much. Even though the first fight was close. I know that for sure. Oh, it's also known as Road to Dubai, the rematch, Gumby. It does have another title. Oh my God. Coca-Cola Arena in Dubai, UAE, 12 fights. We are going to touch on 5 of them in depth, as we always do. And then Gumby gets his bonus plays. And then, of course, you can always hit us up in the comments or on the Discord and ask opinions on other fights as well. All right. First fight is a catchweight 140-pound fight. Jack Cartwright from England, Caolán Loughran, excuse me, from Ireland. A couple of Cage Warriors champs, former Cage Warriors champs going at it. So it should be good. We have odds just for the main event, Gumby. Did you see that?
I did.
Nothing else.
Yeah.
Just, nothing else is dropped. We'll tell you about Caolán Loughran, the Dawn. He's 10-2. 5 knockouts, 2 submissions. This is his debut in PFL. Loss win over his last 4. 2-2 in the UFC. He won his last bout, and then still they didn't renew his contract. Former Cage Warriors champion. He's fought at 135 and 145. He's 2 years younger than Cartwright. Cartwright is 12-2, 3 knockouts, 6 submissions. He's never been finished in a fight. This is his short notice debut in the PFL, so that's why they are making this a catchweight bout. Was the McGrillen, right? Was supposed to be in this. Bout,
the McGrizzler. Yeah.
The Grizzler, yes. Cartwright.
The McGrizzler, not the McGrizzler.
McGrizzler, right. Yeah, McGrizzler is a McDonald's sandwich. McGrizzler is a person. That's how you differentiate. Loss win for Cartwright as well. So same as Loughran. He's not fought in over a year, September 2024. So short notice and he's not fought in over a year. Double whammy. 0-1 on Contender Series because he lost to
Jose Johnson.
You're correct. Yeah. He is the former Cage Warriors champion too. Cartwright is. He's fought at 135. He's 3 inches taller than Loughran.
Yeah, and actually, that Jose Johnson fight is actually really beneficial for the way I was going to already break this down. Now that I'm remembering it, I'm going to take Loughran, and I think he's probably going to be, let's say, like a negative 200 favorite. Cartwright's got enough name value there, and is coming over from Octagon. I think that keeps him from being too big of an underdog. But, like, I was going to sit here and say, like, if you watch Cartwright fight Jonas Magard, he struggles to defend a takedown. But, like, let's peel it all the way back and talk about that fight that you just reminded me of, Jose Johnson. I went into that fight being like, Jose Johnson's got to stick and move, and Cartwright's got to shoot takedowns. And how did that fight go? Jose Johnson took down Jack Cartwright a bunch of times. And I was like, what the hell kind of takedown defense do you have to get repeatedly taken down by Jose Johnson in this fight? A guy who seemingly wanted to box you and then, cruised his way to a decision by out grappling you. And, Loughran is not, I don't think he's like the most polished fighter you've ever seen. It's probably why the UFC wasn't interested in renewing him even at 2-2. But like, he did just come off of beating a grappler by taking him down repeatedly, right? Like, he just kept taking down what was it, Nathan Fletcher, right? And I want to say he had like 6-7 takedowns in that fight. So, like, I mean, just that alone should be enough to beat Cartwright. You know, Cartwright on short notice, not got a full camp. They had to go up in weight, which I think only helps Loughran. He's going to be the more physical fighter. He's just got to rinse and repeat on the takedowns, and I don't think Cartwright's really got much for him. So, yeah, give me Caolán Loughran.
All right. Loughran is locked in. We are going to 135 now. Magomedov from Russia. Sergio Pettis from the United States. 3 5-minute rounds. Bantamweight. Tell you about Pettis first. He is the phenom. I don't know. He's been fighting for 14 years. He's 32. I don't think you can call yourself the phenom anymore, but hey, he's 24-7. He's got 4 knockouts, 4 submissions. He's been knocked out once, submitted twice. He's 1-0 in PFL. 1-2 over his last 3, 7-2 over his last 9. He did win his last bout. He went 5-1 in Bellator and was the champion there. 9-5 in the UFC. Regional champion. He's fought at flyweight. 2011 pro MMA debut. 0-1 as pro boxer. 2 years younger than Magomedov. Tiger Magomedov is 21-4, 3 knockouts, 11 submissions. He's been submitted once. That makes him durable. 1-0 in PFL. Loss win over his last 6 fights. He went 4-3 in Bellator. RIP. I forgot to say RIP before, but RIP Bellator. Regional champ. He's fought at 145, 155, 170. 2011 pro MMA debut. An inch taller than Pettis.
Yeah, I'm going to go Magomedov. It's hard for me to gauge where this one will fall because people do seem kind of hyped on Magomedov, but it does have a couple of recent losses. Granted, they're both Apache mix. Sergio Pettis is a Pettis. So, like, I don't know. I'm going to say, like, Magomedov -145. Seems like a normal number you would get here. And like I said, I'm going to go with Magomedov. The big piece for me is that he can wrestle, right? Like we saw him in that fight with Patchy Mix. And actually in the rematch with Patchy Mix, I remember thinking he won that fight, only for them to give it to Patchy Mix. But like he got taken down a couple of times in that fight, popped right back up, has good counter wrestling and stuff like that. But the big piece for me is just like the right hand is wicked fast. With the way he throws it, sometimes he doubles it up. Sometimes it's like a hook jab, or a jab and then a hook, and he like uses it back to back. You know, Pettis is not an old guy, but like kind of is slowed down in his time. You know, he was getting beat in one of those recent wins until he landed, you know, a crazy shot that got him the win. You know, I don't think that's coming here against Magomedov. I think ultimately, I just think Magomedov is faster, sharper, has the wrestling in his back pocket if he wants it, even though he doesn't go to it all that often. I'm going to go with Magomedov here.
Okay, lock it in. All right, before we get you some more winning plays, let me tell you about the good people at mybookie.ag. We are brought to you by mybookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on football and everything else. Their prop builder is second to none. Their motto is bet on anything, anywhere, anytime. They have easy deposit and lightning fast payouts using crypto. Check out the PFL lines there when they drop. And when you do head to mybookie.ag, use our promo code MMASGPN. That way you get 100% bet back bonus up to $500 for new customers. So that's mybookie.ag, promo code MMASGPN. And we're brought to you by Novig. That's Novig, all one word. Novig is America's #1 sports prediction market. Since Novig is an exchange, you know you're getting some of the best prices in the market. Novig is available in 35 plus states. Download the Novig app and get $50 when you spend $5 if you use our promo code SGPN. Get in on the action with Novig, promo code SGPN. All right, back to Dubai we go. Third from the top is a lightweight bout. Archie Colgan, JJ Wilson, US versus New Zealand. Oh, I almost did it again. Almost pissed off all you people. I can never travel to New Zealand because I have a lot of enemies there now. The Maori kid we'll tell you about first. That would be Wilson. 11-1, 4 knockouts, 4 submissions. He's never been finished in a fight. He went 1-0 in PFL. He's won 3 straight fights. TKO win in his last bout. He's not lost a fight since March 2022. Went 9-1 in Bellator, RIP Bellator. He's fought at 145. He missed weight there twice. 0-2 in pro grappling. 2 years younger than Colgan, an inch taller, 5-inch reach advantage over him. King Archie Colgan, 12-0, 5 knockouts, 1 submission. He's 1-0 in PFL, 8-0 in Bellator, RIP. Used to fight at 170.
Yeah, I think Colgan's going to be the favorite here. Probably a little bit bigger than some of the ones we've been talking about, like maybe -225. And he's my pick. I'm going to go Archie Colgan. JJ Wilson's grappling is really impressive to me. Really like his jiu-jitsu, really like his positional wrestling, really like his ability to hold the position when he has it. I just don't think he's going to get any of them against Archie Colgan. Like, Archie Colgan's a nasty wrestler. This is a guy who, when he takes away your space, he really takes away your space. And his hands have really started to come around, too. I remember originally thinking that Archie Colgan is kind of like a wrestle-first guy who hasn't really figured out the rest of his game. And then, like, the last 2 or 3 times I've watched him, I've been like, oh, he's kind of figured out the rest of his game. And, like, you know, the boxing maybe isn't flashy or incredible yet, but he's, you know, the speed already plays, and the fact that he's so fast kind of helps him to start. And then when you add in too that, like, people are just constantly worried that that double leg takedown is coming, you know, I think it opens up his boxing, and I think he's realized it opens up his boxing. I don't think Wilson has anything for him on the mat in terms of his own wrestling, and certainly, like, I think Colgan can stay out of the submissions. So then, like, is the question is, like, JJ Wilson's hands better than Colgan's? Technically, fundamentally, they might be better, but, like, I think with that fear of the takedown in the back of his mind the whole time, I think they become worse given that fact. So I'm going to go Archie Colgan. I think, again, the fear of the takedown bothers JJ Wilson here, and then, like, positionally, Colgan should have all the good spots.
All right, lock it in. We're going for the PFL vacant light heavyweight championship next. Why is the light heavyweight championship vacant, Gumby?
Did Nemkov abandon it to go fight at heavyweight? Maybe.
Yeah, that sounds like a legitimate.
At one point in time, he was like, "I'm dropping the Bellator title," and it was like, "Is there a Bellator title?" So maybe.
Oh yeah, maybe there wasn't even a PFL title at this point.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, trying to make sense out of the PFL's titles is like, I don't know. It's like
they're only gonna have one though, bud.
They're only going to have one unless they aren't, you know? So, like,
all right.
You know.
Yes. Corey Anderson was the Bellator light heavyweight champion, and then he was awarded the inaugural PFL light heavyweight championship August 13th, 2025. So why are they saying it's vacant? If he's the undisputed
did they
champion?
strip him, have a fight for it, and then have those people
in the month's time? Apparently it was just the summer. Anyhow, who cares? It doesn't matter whether it's vacant or not. Corey Anderson may be the champion. He's from the United States. Dovlet Yagshimuradov, he is from Turkmenistan. They're fighting, like, as we said, light heavyweight. Yagshimuradov is Wolfhound, 25-7-1, 14 knockouts, 4 submissions. He's been knocked out twice, submitted 3 times. 4-0 in PFL. He's a 2024 champion of the tournament because they only have one champion. So,
and that belt doesn't count.
No, it doesn't count. He's won 7 straight fights, TKO win in his last bout. His fight is not lost since October 2021. 3-2 in Bellator, multiple region championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get a shirt, get a merch, sportsgamblebloggers.com/store. Used to fight at heavyweight, 2012 Pro MMA debut for him. Anderson, overtime, but we know him as
Beastin 25-8.
Always and forever. He's 19-6 with 1 no contest and 1 knockouts. He's been knocked out 4 times. 1-0 in PFL. He's won 3 straight TKO win in his last bout. He's not lost since November 2022. 5-1 with 1 no contest in Bellator or IP, and the champion there, as I told you a few minutes ago. 10-5 in the UFC, 3-0 in the Ultimate Fighter, and 1 in the season that he was on. He used to fight at heavyweight as well. 2013 Pro MMA debut. 4 inches taller than Yagshimuradov. He's got a foot of reach advantage over him.
You missed one of the most important pieces.
And this is a rematch?
This is a rematch.
Real God.
Corey Anderson beat Yagshimuradov in 2022. I say 2022. Okay. And I'm going to go with what I assume will be the underdog and the guy who lost the first one. I'm going to take Yagshimuradov. I think since their last fight, he's looked a lot better. And I think it's really evident in the Rob Wilkinson fight. Not that the Impa Kasangane fight isn't, like, helpful for his cause either, right? Because he slept Impa, made Impa look like he didn't even belong in there, which is hard to do. Like, Impa's been really good for PFL. But, like, the fight with Rob Wilkinson is the one for me because, like, he had Wilkinson scared to throw because every time he threw, he got tagged with something back and it looked like it really freaking hurt. He can wrestle a little bit. And obviously, like, Corey Anderson, like, would rather this fight take place entirely in the clinch. But I think earlier in Yagshimuradov's career and even back when he fought Corey Anderson, is like, his biggest issues were like sometimes his takedown defense didn't hold up and his cardio was really kind of poor. But he sort of showed that like that's not an issue anymore. And granted, he's not fighting wrestlers the same caliber as Corey Anderson since then. But I do think it's like improved to a point where I like suddenly I have some faith in him. And then like the power is obvious, right? Like he's hurting people, even guys he isn't like straight up sleeping, like, you know, Impa, like they look scared when they get hit by him. Is like all of a sudden it's like they don't want any piece of those exchanges anymore and they're more gun shy. You know, I think that's key here. Is I think the power for Yagshimuradov just plays up here, and I think he runs over Corey Anderson. So give me Yagshimuradov in the first of our 2 rematches at PFL Champions 2.
Rematch 2, 2 rematches, and it's remember it's also Road to Dubai, the rematch. It should be the rematch is. All right, before we get to the other rematch, let me tell you about Underdog Fantasy. Gumby just hopefully got in on a live one for us. Underdog Fantasy is a great place to play fantasy pick'em, where you can win up to 500 times your entry. Simply pick higher or lower on your favorite player's stats. It's available for a ton of sports. Gummy's going to give you one of those sports right now, along with the play.
Yeah, we'll take a Monday Night Football because there's 2 Monday Night Football games this week. Jets playing the Dolphins. I'll take Devon A-Chain's receptions. Despite being a running back, they love throwing to that guy out of the backfield. I think he's got 15 receptions in the last 2 weeks. So give me the higher than on Devon A-Chain's receptions.
All right. Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with our code, only our code, MMASGPN. And we're brought to you by Rhythm. That's RITHMM. Rhythm's off to a great start in college football and the NFL. And Rhythm has introduced a leaderboard with weekly cash prizes just for tracking your bets in the app. Track 5 bets of the same type from any model you build, and you can win $1,000. Gumby, Rhythm, you got to play?
Yeah, let's go player props. We'll stick with that same Dolphins game. I'm just going to take the under on Tua Tagovailoa's passing yards. The guy seems like he doesn't even know where he is most of the time in his game. So I'm going to take the under there. So that's under on Tua's passing yards.
See if Rhythm agrees with Gumby. You use our promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app for 25% off your first month. So download Rhythm, RITHMM, use promo code SGPN25. All right, main event is for another belt, another vacant belt. This is why no, this isn't vacant. I think it's Tapology screwing up. Anyhow,
didn't Usman Nurmagomedov miss weight or something like that and get stripped or test positive? I don't want to. I hate speculating on test positive, but I feel like he did too, didn't he?
Not that I know of. No. Wikipedia just has him listed as a champ.
Okay.
No, because he just fought Hughes like in January. And nothing's happened since then. So
okay.
Maybe it's Tapology. Anyhow, it's for a belt, the lightweight.
Maybe it's because they're down to just one belt.
That's right. Everything is vacated, and everyone's got to win their belts again. Anyhow, Usman Nurmagomedov, Russia, Paul Hughes, Ireland. The rematch, 5-minute rounds, 155. Big news: Paul Hughes is 14-2, 7 knockouts, 3 submissions. He has never been finished in a fight. He is 2-1 in PFL. He's won 8 of 9 TKO win in his last bout. He lost to Nurmagomedov in January of this year. 1-0 in Bellator, RIP. Cage Warriors champion. Also, he has multiple regional championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get a shirt, get a merch, sportsgampockets.com/store. East fight at 145 plus 129. Nurmagomedov is 19-0 with 1 no contest, 8 knockouts, 6 submissions. He's 1-0 in PFL and the champion, we think. He's won 2 straight fights. He's went 7-0 with 1 no contest in Bellator, RIP, and was the champion there as well. He's fight at 145. He's a year younger than Hughes. He's got 2 inches of height and 2 inches of reach advantage over the Irishman. He's at minus 155.
I'm actually going to go Paul Hughes. And actually, before we
did you go first time too? I think the first fight.
I don't think I did, but I
no,
might be wrong. I also want to point out that Magomedov does have a positive test on his record, so I wasn't just making that up. It was after the Brett Primus fight. They said accidental in nature due to prescription drugs.
Okay.
Yeah, and then they didn't strip him of his title. But now he's been stripped because they're going to do the one title. But yeah, I think I'm going to go Paul Hughes. If you watch that first fight, man, Hughes was like a takedown away, like one takedown defense away from winning that fight at any given moment for me. He's clearly the better striker, the much better striker. And, he had his moments on the feet, and it's just like, can he be on his feet enough to win this fight? And I think the answer is yes, because it was pretty close in the first one to him being on his feet enough to win it. And then when you think about okay, so what are they going to go back to the lab and work on here? Nurmagomedov's hands aren't going to be better than Paul Hughes's, right? He is not going to have figured out how to not eat those Paul Hughes hooks or those Paul Hughes straights. Paul Hughes might be just a touch better in his takedown defense. You know what I mean? Paul Hughes might come out and be able to stuff 2 more than he did last time, 3 more than he did last time. And that's probably enough. And then when you add in that Paul Hughes is very dangerous with his hands, I don't think he's necessarily going to knock him out. But if somebody's going to get the finish here, it's probably Paul Hughes to me. I don't think Usman is going to sub him. So I think Paul Hughes is worth a swing. And clearly the books do too, right? I'm not crazy for having picked this because this is the one fight with odds. And would you just quote me? Paul Hughes plus 130?
129. So yeah.
129. So yeah, even the books know that first fight was so close. And if there's going to be something that changes, it's Paul Hughes knows what's coming in the grappling side of things. So yeah, I'll roll the dice with Paul Hughes here.
All right, roll the dice with Paul Hughes. Let's recap. We'll get you some more plays. Don't you go anywhere yet. He's got Hughes. He's got Yagshimuradov. I did so good to start off. What did you say a number for that one?
I guess he'd be an underdog. I don't know if I remember picking an actual number, but he lost the first fight. Corey Anderson's a former UFC fighter, maybe plus 170, 75.
All right, lock it in. He's got him, obviously. He's got Colgan. He has got Magomedov. He has got Loughran. And he's got some lightning round plays for you. Is that Ben Boom Pow?
Yeah, first one I'm going to take is Florim Zendel. Is he Albanian? I want to say Albanian. Albanian fighter, really good chokes. He's going to be fighting Omar El Dafri. El Dafri he's pulled out a lot of wins, but he doesn't really impress me. So I like Zendel here. I think his grappling could probably play up. And then speaking of grappling playing up, I just discovered this fighter who I'm taking here, and that's Puya Rahmani. He's an Iranian wrestler, although he represents UAE now, but he's an Iranian wrestler. And he's fighting Slim Trabelsi, right? He's only 4-0 in MMA. And he's up against Slim Trabelsi. And I was like, well, what the hell are they doing with this Iranian guy, right? But then I pulled up his record on Tapology. And first of all, he has a grappling win in Karate Combat, when they do the pit grappling, over Slim Trabelsi recently.
Oh,
which is nice. And then he's also got them over Hamdi Abdelhawab. He's got a grappling win over Kenyon Duarte, who is one of the best grapplers in the world. Now, granted, size was probably a huge factor in that one. And then he's got one over Denzel Freeman, who was the LFA champion and just got signed to the UFC. So this guy's got tons of high-level grappling wins, or at least high-level MMA grappling wins. And then he's 4-0. And I just saw him ragdoll Slim Trabelsi in a grappling match. I kind of think he's going to do it here too. And my guess is at 4-0 and with none of the name recognition of Slim, he's probably going to be the dog. So yeah, my 2 lightning round picks, I'm going to take Rahmani and I'm going to take Zendel.
All right. Don't sleep on the lightning round picks. Going to be hits a lot of those, majority of those. It makes a lot of dough on that as well. All right. You are set. Hopefully we made you a lot of dough today. You can get more of us in the Discord at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord or YouTube, MMA Gambling Podcast. Thank you everyone for subscribing, getting us over 1,700 subscribers, I think, as we're speaking. We are on the Twitter at SGPN MMA. He's at Gummy Vrila, and I'm at Jeff Fox Writer, at Jeff Fox Writer on Instagram as well. Check out my Substack, enter my free weekly UFC Pick'em contest at moneymma.substack.com. Check out Gummy's other podcast called Top Turtle MMA, where he interviews interesting people in MMA. Who are the interesting people this episode?
We're talking to Ozzy Diaz, who's fighting at UFC 320 this weekend. And we're also talking to Eduardo Pena, who is a very fun, undefeated prospect out of Las Vegas.
All right.
Or California, not Las Vegas, California. Okay.
Top Turtle, regardless. We are at sportsgamblingpodcast.com, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. And we've got UFC pay-per-view coming up. We'll take Tuesday off, regroup, Then Wednesday, UFC. Thursday, UFC and Contender Series. So there you go. All right, Gummy, bid the people farewell.
All right, I'm Dana Gummy Freeland. He's beastin' 25-8 Jeff Fox, and we will see you on Wednesday.